Hey y'all. So it's been brought to my attention that people want a part two of the Uber Chronicles. Very strange, I guess, situation I had on yesterday. Now I'll try and play back in my head and give kind of like a rundown or run through. What are you doing, Princess? Sorry, my doggy. She wants pets right now. But so it was normal, I go pick the lady up, and I mean, she seemed okay at first. So, I opened the back and let her put her package in the back because that's where she wanted to put it. So I let her put her package in the back. Closed the door, got in. Now, this was the first strange thing that happened. She first sat behind the passenger seat. As I started driving, she shifts over to sit behind me, behind the driver's seat. And, I tell her, hey, ma'am, moving back and forth while the vehicle's moving, that's not safe. So I'd really appreciate it if you didn't do that. If you would, just sit still, put your seatbelt on. Guess she wasn't really trying to hear that. So she shifted one more time back over to the passenger seat. And I told her, I'm like, ma'am, could you please put your seatbelt on? She didn't want to do that. Now, I was already talking to my buddy before I picked her up. So when I talk, I use this headset. I'm a truck driver. I do Uber and Lyft like on the side. So it's not my main gig. So this only covers one ear, hands-free. Under Florida state law, that's legal. Also under Florida state law, you are allowed to talk on the phone while driving Uber. Now, some of you all have a problem with that. Fine. That's your personal preference. However, your Uber driver, they don't have to adhere to that just because you don't like it. Now, is it a nicety? Yes. But I was already talking to my buddy. Now, if I have passengers, if they talk to me, because a lot of people, they get in, they don't want to talk. They just want to ride, and they could care less if you're talking to anybody on the phone. They don't really care, But there are people that talk to me, and when they talk to me, I'll not talk to whoever I'm talking to on the phone, and I'll talk to them. I'll have a conversation with the passenger. I've done that hundreds of times, I've done a lot of these rides. So this is nothing new. But yeah. So I'm talking on the phone with my buddy. Then she asked me, are you on the phone? I was like, yeah, I'm on the phone. I'm talking to my buddy. And she's like, oh, are you from New York? Like, no, I'm from Florida. I live here. I'm born and raised in Florida. And she says, oh, well, the only people I know that talk while they're on the phone are people from New York. I'm like, okay. She's like, well, I'm from New York. Okay. Like, me not understanding. I'm like, I don't know what this has to do with anything, but okay, all right. And she's like, well, I think it's rude that you're on the phone. I was like, well, I was on the phone before you ever got into the vehicle, and I'm allowed to be on the phone. You may think it's rude, but it's not illegal for me to be on the phone talking to my buddy. I'm well within my rights. She didn't like that. So now she starts to say, well, I don't feel safe. You don't feel safe? All right. Well, I told her, well, since you don't feel safe, I'll pull over to an establishment. It's during the weekday. It's in like the middle, of the day. It's like, I'll pull over to an establishment. I'll cancel the ride. You can request a new ride, and you can go wait in one of the establishments, with your things. So that way, you feel safe since you don't feel safe in my vehicle. So she tells me no. I was like, well, no, you just told me you don't feel safe. So now you have to get out of here. Like, I can't be riding around with somebody that's telling me that they don't feel safe. I don't know what you're going to do. You could call the police on me and tell them that you don't feel safe. And now I'm a black guy with this white woman that's saying she don't feel safe. I don't know what could happen from that. And I ain't trying to figure it out either. And I ain't trying to go through it. So I'm like, no, I'm going to pull over to the establishment. You can get out, get your things, and just go over there. You know, I made sure I parked in a parking lot where there was multiple businesses. You can go over there, you know, and wait for your new Uber. I canceled the ride. I pulled over. I'm waiting. I'm like, ma'am, you can go ahead and exit the vehicle. She refused. I said, ma'am, would you please exit the vehicle? She refused. I said, okay. Then she calls Uber safety. I'm like, okay, so now we're doing this. I asked her one more time, ma'am, would you please exit the vehicle? If you do not exit the vehicle, I will call the police and have them come so that maybe they can have you exit the vehicle. 'Cause I'm not putting my hands on you. I'm not touching you. I'm not doing anything. It's already to the point where you're saying you don't feel safe. So I'm not doing that. So she still refused. So now it's at the point, look, I'm a nice guy. I'm a patient guy. I'm a calm guy. I don't like being upset. I don't like being in confrontation. I don't like any of that. I avoid all that stuff. For God's sake, I wear a one-piece sweater. All right? I like video games. I like music. I don't like confrontation and all that. I'm really an introvert for real. I don't even like going out for real. So I'm like, okay. So I called the police and I had them on the phone. I told them the whole situation, the rundown. They said they were going to send somebody. Now, as you know, in a I guess it wasn't really important for them because I don't know why, but it was taking a while. So I started recording. I'm like, the lady already said she don't feel safe. So I need to record. Now, for the recording, I have two vehicles. And I normally do Uber in my other vehicle, and that's where my dash cam is. I forgot. You know, I just got this other vehicle, so I didn't purchase a secondary dash cam to put in there, which poo-poo on me. I should have paid attention. Now, I talked to the police. They said they're going to send somebody. I started recording, and that's where the video picks up. You know, and then she starts saying all this stuff about her package and all this stuff. She don't want me to drive off with it and all that. I'm like, man, I already told you that you can take your package. Like, you can go over there before I ever started recording. Like, yo, if you don't feel safe, don't stay in here. Like, go. You know? If I didn't feel safe around an individual or in somebody's vehicle, I'm getting out that vehicle. I'm getting away from that individual. Come on, man. But I mean, that's it. You know, and the people that say, "Oh, you could have already taken the package out," I don't touch people's stuff, man. If I go back there and I, go to take the package out, not just you can say, "Oh, well, he's trying to destroy my, my expensive package," and the package, no lie, had cans of soda in it. Cans of soda. Come on, man. I don't touch people's stuff. But when they said that, when she was on the safety call and with the safety lady, and she was like, well, ask him if he can take it out or whatever, or he can open the door or whatever. Hey, I'll take it out, whatever I got to do to get you out of here. Because I don't like this. I don't like drama. I don't like any of this. Everybody I had before her and everybody after her had no problem with me talking to my buddy on the phone. If I was talking to him, they had no problem with anything. I'm safe. I drive safe. I don't have no record of nothing. I don't even have a speeding ticket, parking ticket. I don't have nothing. I'm one of the safest freaking people out here. So, I don't know, man. But yeah, that's it, man. Y'all just be safe out here, man. Stuff gets real crazy real fast. It was just one simple thing. But when you tell me you don't feel safe, it's time for you to exit my vehicle. Because I'm not about to keep you in there. So, yeah, that's it. Hope it cleared up any questions. If you have any more, just hit the comments like you did before. All right. Deuces.